She looked at him like he was nothing. He was standing right beside her, protecting her life, and she looked at him like he was dirt on her shoe. "Do you know how much my shoes cost?" she said. "More than you will earn in 1 year." He said nothing. He just kept watching the door. Nobody in that room knew that in 3 weeks, this same poor bodyguard would be the only reason she was still breathing. Nobody knew that the man she mocked in front of her whole staff was already paying, in secret, for a child's cancer treatment with his own small salary. And nobody knew that the child he was saving would one day call her sister. But there is something else nobody knew. Something bigger. The man who would try to destroy them both was already sitting at her father's dinner table, smiling, shaking her father's hand, planning it all for months. This is the story of Adiz Balogun, the heiress who had everything, and Emeka Chukwu, the bodyguard who had nothing but his honor. Stay until the end, because the shoes she insulted him for are not the last thing she says about them. Welcome back to the channel where love and pride collide. If you love stories about pain, pride, and second chances, hit subscribe, because today's story will break your heart before it heals it. Lagos, Nigeria. Adiz Balogun was the only daughter of Chief Solomon Balogun, owner of Balogun Cosmetics, one of the biggest beauty companies in West Africa. She grew up in a mansion in Ikoyi. Drivers opened her car door. Maids ironed her clothes. Nobody ever told her no. Her father called her his small queen. But behind her back, the staff called her something else. The Ice Queen. One morning, Chief Balogun called her into his office. "Adiz, sit down. I need to talk to you." "Daddy, if this is about the board meeting, I already." "It is not about the board meeting. It is about your safety." "My safety?" "Daddy, I have security at the gate. I have cameras everywhere. 2 nights ago, someone tried to break into this house while you were sleeping. I did not tell you because I did not want you to be afraid. But I will not gamble with your life. Starting today, you will have a personal bodyguard. Someone will be with you every hour, every day." "Daddy, I don't need a babysitter." "It is not a discussion, Adiz. It is final." She rolled her eyes. "Fine. Where is this bodyguard?" Her father opened the door. A tall man walked in. Simple black suit. Worn shoes. Calm face. His name was Emeka Chukwu, a former soldier, decorated twice for bravery before he left the army to take care of his little sister. "Adiz, this is Emeka. He was the best soldier in his unit. He will protect you with his life." Adiz looked him up and down, from his shoes to his old wristwatch. "This is the man protecting me? He looks like he cannot even protect his own shoes from the rain." The room went quiet. "Adiz," her father said, his voice sharp. "What?" "I am only saying what everybody is thinking." Emeka did not respond. He simply said, "Good morning, Ma." "Don't call me Ma. Call me Miss Balogun. And stay far from me. I don't like people following me around like a lost dog." "Yes, Miss Balogun." Her father sighed. "Adiz, try to be civil." "I don't need to be civil to staff, Daddy." She walked out of the office, and Emeka followed 3 steps behind her, exactly as his training taught him. Silent, watching every door, every window, every stranger. She hated it. She hated him. She just did not know yet that this same man would one day be the reason her heart was still beating. But that morning, in the car park outside, another man was watching this whole scene from a parked car. Tabena Ease, vice president of operations, and the one man who needed Adiz distracted, confused, and alone. He smiled when he saw the new bodyguard. A poor man, easy to remove, easy to blame. This was useful. The first week was war. Adiz tried everything to embarrass Emeka. At the office, in front of her entire management team, she said, "Everybody, meet my new shadow. He used to be a soldier. Now he is paid to walk behind me like a servant." The staff laughed politely, afraid to laugh too loud, afraid to stay quiet either. Emeka only bowed his head slightly. "Good morning, everyone." Later that day, she took him shopping, only to make him carry her bags in front of the rich women she knew, so they could see she now had a poor man working for her. "Emeka, carry all 7 bags. And walk 2 steps behind me. I don't want people thinking you are my equal." "Yes, Miss Balogun." One of her friends laughed. "Adiz, where did you find this one? He looks hungry." Adiz laughed along. "He's from the army. Very disciplined. Very poor." but very obedient. Emika's jaw tightened, but he said nothing. He carried the bags. He opened her car door. He stood in the sun while she had lunch inside, because she told him, "Wait outside. I don't want your smell near my food." That evening, her father asked him, "How was your first week, son?" "It was fine, sir." "Emika, I know my daughter can be difficult." "She is your daughter, sir. I only do my job. You are a good man. Be patient with her. She has never been told no in her life. Nobody has ever made her feel small, so she does not know how it feels to make someone else feel small either." "I understand, sir. As long as I am with her, nothing will happen to her. You have my word." What Chief Baligan did not know was this. Emika went home every night to a one-room apartment in Ajagunal, where his 7-year-old sister, Kayamika, was fighting leukemia. Every insult Adiz gave him during the day, he swallowed quietly, because he needed this job. He needed the salary. His sister needed her medicine. He never told anyone, not even the Baligan family. Meanwhile, Tabena had already begun. That same week, he sat with Chief Baligan over drinks. "Sir, I only say this because I care about the company's image," Tabena said carefully. "People are already talking. A former soldier, from Ajagunal, walking so close to your daughter. It does not look right for the family name. Emika is disciplined, Tabena. He is exactly what she needs." "Of course, sir. Of course. I only worry. Poor men, sometimes they get ideas. Especially around money like hers." Chief Baligan frowned, but said nothing. The seed was planted. Somebody was already trying to get Emika removed, weeks before Adiz even knew his sister's name. And it would almost work. One night, Emika was very late picking Adiz up from a business dinner. 25 minutes late. "Emika, do you know how that looks? Do you know what people will say about me, standing outside a restaurant like nobody wants me?" "I am sorry, Miss Baligan. My sister had an emergency at the hospital. I don't care about your family emergencies. When you work for me, my time is the only time that matters." "Yes, Ma. Don't call me Ma." "Yes, Miss Baligan." She got in the car and slammed the door. Emika drove in silence, his hands shaking slightly on the wheel, not from fear, but from the memory of his sister crying in a hospital bed an hour earlier. 2 days later, Adiz visited a children's hospital for a company charity event, more for the photographs than for the children. While her assistant arranged the cameras, a small girl in a yellow headscarf walked up to her, smiling with a gap in her teeth. "Hello, my name is Kayamika, but everyone calls me Chichi." "Hello, Chichi. You are very brave. Are you Emika's friend?" Adiz frowned. "Who is Emika?" "My big brother. He is outside. He came with you." Adiz turned around slowly. Emika was standing by the hospital entrance, stiff, his eyes wide with panic. "Your brother is my bodyguard?" "Yes. He takes care of me every day. He sleeps on the floor so I can have the bed. He tells me stories until I sleep. He is the best brother in the whole world." Adiz looked at Emika. For the first time, she did not see a poor driver. She saw a man who had been begging quietly, in the corners of his life, for his sister to survive. "Chichi, are you sick? I have cancer in my blood. But the doctor says I am getting better because someone pays for my medicine every month. Emika calls the person my angel. He said one day I will meet my angel and say thank you." Chichi tugged Adiz's sleeve and leaned in like she was sharing a secret. "Can I tell you something? Sometimes I get scared at night. But I don't tell my brother, because he already looks so tired. So I just hold my blanket tight and pretend the medicine bottles are stars watching over me." Adiz's throat tightened. She had never heard a child speak like that. "Do you know who the angel is?" "No, nobody knows. But Emika prays for the angel every night. He says, 'God, whoever you are using to save my sister, bless them double.'" Adiz walked over to Emika slowly. "You never told me your sister was sick. It was not your business to know, Miss Baligan. Is that why you were late that night?" "Yes. And I shouted at you." "Yes, Ma." She looked away, ashamed for the first time in years. What Adiz did not know yet was that she already held the answer to Chi-Chi's biggest question, and finding it out that night would change everything. That night, Adiz went home and opened her laptop. She searched the hospital's donor records under her private foundation, the one she managed quietly without her father's involvement, the one nobody in the press knew about. She found the name. Kayamika Chukwu. Monthly sponsorship. Anonymous donor, AB. Her own initials. She sat back in her chair, stunned. 8 months ago, before Emeka even started working for her, her foundation had picked 5 children at random from 3 hospitals to sponsor secretly. Kayamika had been one of them. She had been paying for his sister's life, without knowing his sister existed. And she had been insulting the brother every single day. Tears filled her eyes. For the first time, Adiz felt something she was not used to feeling: shame. She did not tell Emeka. Not yet. She did not want gratitude to be the reason he forgave her. But something in her began to change slowly, imperfectly. It was not an overnight transformation. She still had bad days. The very next morning, out of old habit, she snapped at him again for opening her door too slowly. She saw his face fall, just slightly, and for the first time she felt it land in her own chest like a stone. That afternoon she apologized for the first time in her life to someone who worked for her. It came out clumsy. That was unnecessary this morning. I'm sorry. Emeka blinked, unsure what to do with the words. It is all right, Miss Balogun. You can call me Adiz. If you want. I will call you Miss Balogun, Ma. It is safer that way. She almost smiled at that. Almost. Slowly, quietly, without announcing it to anyone, they began to talk. Real conversations. About his years in the army. About her mother, who died when she was 12, and how her father buried his grief in business instead of grieving properly. Does it get easier? Missing someone? She asked him once, on a long drive. No, Ma. You just get stronger arms to carry it. She looked at him differently after that. Meanwhile, Tabena noticed the change too, and he did not like it. Tabena Ease, the vice president of operations at Balogun Cosmetics, had been secretly moving company funds into private accounts for over a year. He had been courting Adiz for months, hoping to marry into the family and make the theft disappear forever. Now he watched her laughing with her bodyguard in the hallway, and something cold moved in his chest. He went to Chief Balogun again. Sir, forgive me for speaking freely, but people in the office are starting to whisper. Your daughter and her bodyguard, spending so much time together. Laughing. It is inappropriate, sir, and forgive me, but it puts her reputation and the company's reputation at risk. Emeka has never once been inappropriate with my daughter, Tabena. Of course not directly, sir. But feelings do not ask permission. Perhaps it is time to rotate the security staff? For everyone's protection. Chief Balogun, worried for the first time, called Emeka in. Son, I need to reassign you to warehouse security for a while. Emeka did not argue. As you wish, sir. When Adiz found out, she was furious. Daddy, why would you do this? Adiz, people are talking. Let them talk. Emeka has done nothing wrong. This is Tabena's doing, isn't it? He has been sniffing around this family like a hyena for months. Adiz, careful. No, Daddy, you be careful. That man wants my hand and your company's books to stay quiet. Ask yourself why he is so eager to get rid of the one man who actually protects this family. Chief Balogun paused. For the first time, doubt crept in about Tabena. Emeka was reassigned anyway, for 3 long weeks, kept away from Adiz under Tabena's careful pressure. During that time, Tabena moved fast, quietly transferring more company funds, preparing his exit, and pushing Chief Balogun toward approving a hasty merger that would have buried the missing money forever. Tabena almost got away with it in those 3 weeks. The only reason he didn't was a single overworked auditor who noticed one number that did not add up. Even reassigned, Emeka found ways to check on Adiz from a distance, standing further back at events, watching from across parking lots, never approaching, just making sure she was safe. She noticed. It made her chest ache in a way she did not have a name for yet. One evening, a sudden storm hit Lagos while Adiz was leaving a charity gala. Her new assigned security had gone to get the car and gotten lost in the rain. She stood under the awning alone, soaked, when Emeka appeared out of nowhere with an umbrella and his own jacket. You are not supposed to be here, she said, smiling despite herself. I was not here, Ma. I was simply passing by. You've been simply passing by for 3 weeks now. Someone has to make sure the assigned team does their job. They stood under the awning for 20 minutes waiting for the rain to slow. talking about nothing important. Her father's terrible taste in ties, his sister's stubborn refusal to eat vegetables, the sound rain made on their old family roof in the village. It was the first time either of them had laughed freely in front of the other. The next Sunday, Adiz asked to visit Chi-Chi at the hospital, and this time she did not bring cameras or an assistant. Just herself and a bag of storybooks. Chi-Chi made her sit on the floor for a picnic of hospital jollof rice and biscuits. You have to sit properly for a picnic, Chi-Chi instructed. Cross your legs like this. Adiz, in a designer dress, sat cross-legged on hospital tiles and laughed harder than she had in years. Big Brother says picnics are only real if there's sand, Chi-Chi said. But there's no sand here, so we use the tile pattern. Pretend it's sand. Then it's the best pretend sand picnic I have ever had, Adiz said. Weeks later, when Chi-Chi was strong enough for a day pass, Emeka finally invited Adiz to his one-room apartment, nervous, apologizing before she even stepped inside. It is small, ma. Not what you are used to. Adiz stood in the doorway and looked at the small space. A single bed, a mattress on the floor, Chi-Chi's drawings taped carefully to the wall like a gallery. It is warmer than my house, she said quietly. My house has 12 rooms, and none of them feel like this. She bought him a suit not long after, an expensive one, quality fabric, hoping to see him in something that matched the man she was starting to see underneath the worn shoes. He refused it gently. Adiz, I am sorry, Miss Baligan. I cannot accept this. Why not? You deserve nice things too, Emeka. Because the day I wear a suit like this, I will start pretending to be someone I am not. I am a soldier's son. I would rather you know exactly who you are looking at. She did not push it again, but she kept the suit, folded carefully, for a day she hoped would come. That day would come sooner than either of them expected, but not the way anyone wanted. The overworked auditor's discovery reached Chief Baligan's desk. An internal audit was scheduled for the following week. Tabena knew it would expose everything. Over a year of quietly siphoned company funds. He needed a distraction. He needed leverage. He came to Adiz one last time. Adiz, our families make sense together. Our companies make sense together. Marry me, and I promise you, everything difficult in your father's company disappears. Tabena, love is not a business merger. And what exactly is difficult that you need to make disappear? His smile faltered for half a second, enough for her sharp mind to notice. I don't want you, Tabena. I am sorry. Tabena smiled coldly. Is it because of the bodyguard? Excuse me. I have seen how you look at him now. The poor soldier. Very touching. Leave, Tabena. He walked past Emeka, who had just been quietly reinstated after Adiz's insistence, and muttered, low enough for only him to hear. Enjoy her while it lasts, Gateman. Men like you do not get to keep women like her. And I would be very careful, if I were you, about what you think you know. Emeka said nothing, but his eyes followed Tabena out of the building, and for the first time, he felt something colder than contempt. He felt danger. He needed leverage. He needed time. He needed Adiz.it happened on a Thursday evening, the night before the audit was to be presented to the board. Adiz had given Emeka the night off, telling him, go and see your sister. I will be fine for one evening. The audit closes everything tomorrow anyway. Nothing can happen now. For the first time in months, Emeka was not by her side. Her driver that night was not her usual staff. He had been replaced quietly, paid off by Tabena's men weeks earlier, waiting patiently for exactly this kind of night. On the way home from a private dinner, the car turned down an unfamiliar road near Alpapa. By the time Adiz realized something was wrong, 3 men were already pulling open her door. She screamed once. Then a hand covered her mouth, and everything went dark. Chief Baligan did not sleep for 8 days. The kidnappers demanded $2 million, but money was never really the goal. Tabena needed time to disappear before the board meeting exposed him, and Adiz was his insurance. The police moved carefully, afraid that one wrong step would get her killed. On the 8th night, Chief Baligan made a phone call he thought he would never make again. Emeka, I need you. Sir, I know you were reassigned. I know what happened. I am not calling as your employer. I am calling as a father who is losing his mind. Please, You are the only man I trust to bring my daughter home alive. There was a long silence on the phone. Then Emeka said quietly, "Where do I go, sir?" "A warehouse near Apapa Wharf. The police tracked the last signal there 6 hours ago. Tabena is behind this, Emeka. He is armed. He has at least 6 men with him. Sir, I need to go alone. If the police storm that building, they will lose her. You are not a policeman anymore, son." "No, sir. But I am a soldier. And I owe your daughter a debt I can never repay." "What debt?" "She has been paying for my sister's treatment for 8 months, sir. Anonymously. I only found out through a hospital record. She never told me. She never wanted thanks." The chief went silent, stunned. "Bring my daughter home, Emeka." "On my life, sir." The warehouse sat black against the night sky, one bulb glowing weakly through a cracked window. Emeka parked 2 streets away and moved on foot through the shipping containers, silent, counting guards from the shadows. 1 at the north door, 2 patrolling the perimeter, at least 3 more inside. 8 days of no sleep for Chief Baligan. 8 days of a small girl in Ajagunal asking every morning, "Big brother, when is Adiz coming to see me again?" 8 days of Emeka rehearsing this exact walk in his mind, over and over, refusing to let himself imagine failure. Inside, Adiz sat on the floor, hands tied, her dress torn at the shoulder, her face pale, but her eyes still burning with defiance. She had spent 8 days refusing to cry in front of her captors, refusing to give Tabena the satisfaction. "You should have married me when you had the chance, Adiz," Tabena said, pacing. "You are a thief and a coward, Tabena. Marrying you would not have saved you from what is coming. Careful. You are not in a position to insult anyone right now." "I have had 8 days to think, Tabena. Do you know what I thought about?" "Not you. I thought about a bodyguard with worn shoes who never once, not one single time, made me feel as small as you have made me feel in 1 week." Outside, Emeka took down the north guard silently, dragging him behind a container before he could raise an alarm. Then the first perimeter guard, a hard, fast strike learned in another life, another war. The second one saw him coming and got one shout out before Emeka reached him, enough to alert the men inside. The warehouse door creaked open. Tabena's men raised their guns. Well, Tabena said, smiling, though a flicker of alarm crossed his face. "Look who has come to be a hero. The fired bodyguard. The poor soldier. Let her go, Tabena. Take the money. Walk away while you still can. You have a lot of nerve walking in here alone, Chukwu. I did not come here for you. I came for her. How touching. Tell me, soldier, why would a rich man's daughter ever love someone like you? She does not have to love me, Tabena. I am not here for love. I am here because it is right." Adiz's eyes filled with tears. "Emeka, go? Please. Your sister needs you. Leave me." "I am not leaving you, Adiz." Tabena laughed. "Touching. Truly touching. Shoot him." What happened next happened fast, then slow, then fast again. Years of army training took over. Emeka moved before the first shot was fired, throwing himself behind a stack of crates as bullets tore through the wood above his head. He came up firing back with the pistol taken off the second guard, catching one gunman in the leg, forcing another to scramble for cover. For nearly 2 full minutes, it was chaos. Muzzle flashes in the dark, shouting, the smell of gunpowder, Adiz screaming his name from where she was tied, Tabena backing toward the exit shouting orders that nobody was following anymore. Emeka took a bullet in the shoulder crossing open ground to reach a third gunman, the pain white-hot. His vision swimming for a second before the training clicked back in and his body kept moving without waiting for permission. He disarmed the man hand to hand, ugly and desperate, nothing like a movie fight, until finally the warehouse floor was empty of anyone standing except him. He reached Adiz last, breathing hard, blood soaking through his shirt, hands shaking as he cut the rope from her wrists. "Adiz, look at me. Are you hurt?" "I am okay. I am okay. Emeka, you are bleeding. We are not safe yet. Stay behind me." Tabena, cornered near the back exit, pulled a gun on them both, his hand trembling. "One more step and I end this right here, Chukwu." Emeka stepped in front of Adiz without hesitation. "Then end it. But she walks out of here either way. For a long, Terrible second, nobody moved. Then police floodlights burst through the windows. Officers pouring in from the position Emeka's signal had confirmed 20 minutes earlier. Tabena's gun was knocked from his hand before he could decide. He was on the ground, cuffed, screaming that none of this was his fault. Within seconds, it was over. Adiz collapsed against Emeka's good shoulder, sobbing, and for the first time in 8 days, she let herself believe it'd in the hospital that night. Chief Balogun held his daughter so tightly he could barely speak. My daughter, I thought I had lost you. Daddy, I am okay. Emeka came for me. Emeka stood by the door, his arm bandaged, waiting quietly as always. Come here, son, the chief said, his voice breaking. You saved my only child. Whatever you want, name it. Money, a house, a business, anything. Sir, I did not do this for a reward. Emeka, please. Sir, I am only glad she is alive. Adiz looked at him across the room. The man she had humiliated in front of strangers. The man she had made carry her bags like a servant. The man who almost died for her. Emeka, she said quietly. Can everyone leave us for a moment? The room emptied. Emeka, I owe you an apology I do not know how to give. The way I spoke to you. The things I said about your shoes, your name, your family. I was cruel to you every single day, and you still came for me tonight. You do not owe me anything, Adiz. I do. I judged you because you were poor. I never once asked what you were carrying. And you were carrying so much. A sick sister. A soldier's pain. And still, you protected me even when I did not deserve it. You saved my sister's life before you ever knew her name. I could never repay that with cruelty. I did not do it for thanks. I know. That is exactly why it broke me. Tears slipped down her face. I am so sorry, Emeka. I forgive you, Adiz. I forgave you a long time ago. Weeks passed. Adiz visited Chichi every Sunday. No cameras, no assistants, just the two of them and coloring books on the hospital bed. One evening, Chichi grew quiet while Adiz braided the little bit of new hair growing back on her head. Adiz, can I tell you something scary? You can tell me anything, Chichi. When I was very sick, I used to think about what would happen to Big Brother if I didn't wake up one day. So I told myself, if I go to sleep and don't wake up, he shouldn't cry too much. He already cried enough for one lifetime. Adiz had to look away for a moment, blinking hard. You are not going anywhere, Chichi. Do you hear me? Your angel is not done with you yet. Are you my angel? Chichi asked suddenly, tilting her head. Adiz's breath caught. What makes you ask that? Because angels don't announce themselves. Big Brother told me that. He said the best kind of help is the kind nobody takes credit for. Adiz smiled through tears. Maybe I am. I knew it. Chichi whispered, hugging her tight. Can I call you sister now? Practice, before it's official. You can call me sister right now, Chichi. Later, at Emeka's small apartment, teaching Chichi how to bake cookies badly and laughing about it together, Chichi asked, Big Brother, is Adiz your girlfriend now? Chichi, you always smile funny when she is around. Adiz laughed. Do you want me to be your sister, Chichi? Yes. Then you have to marry my brother. Chichi. Emeka groaned, his face red. Adiz smiled softly. I would like that very much, actually. Emeka looked at her, stunned. Adiz. I mean it, Emeka. I have never felt as safe with anyone as I feel with you. Not because of what you did in that warehouse. Because of who you were before anyone was watching. You loved your sister quietly. You forgave me quietly. You are the most honest man I have ever known. I have nothing to offer you, Adiz. No mansion. No company. I have a small apartment and a soldier's pension. I do not need a mansion, Emeka. I grew up in one, and it was always empty. I need someone who will not leave when the cameras are gone. He took her hand slowly. Then I am yours, Adiz. I have been yours since the day you looked at Chichi like she mattered. Chief Balogun insisted on paying for the wedding himself. Sir, please, it is too much, Emeka said. Son, you saved my daughter's life. You cannot stop me from doing this, so do not try. The wedding was held in the Balogun family garden, string lights in the trees, Chichi as the flower girl, her hair finally growing back in full, running down the aisle throwing white petals and laughing louder than anyone. Adiz wore her late mother's wedding ring, resized to fit Emika's rough, working hands. As they exchanged vows, Chief Balagan wept openly for the first time since his wife had passed. "You may kiss the bride." The garden erupted into applause. Chi-Chi jumped up and down screaming, "She's my sister now. She's my sister now." At the reception, Adiz handed Emika a small wrapped box. Inside, framed behind glass, were his old worn shoes, the very ones she had once mocked in her father's office. A small brass plate beneath them read, "These are worth more than every designer shoe I ever owned." Emika stared at it, speechless, his eyes wet. "You once asked me if I knew how much your shoes cost," Adiz said softly, taking his hand. "I do now. They cost you your pride, your comfort, your rest. Also your sister could live. I will spend the rest of my life making sure the world knows exactly what these shoes are worth." She once told him to know his place. She did not know, back then, that his place was right beside her heart, all along. If this story touched your heart, do not scroll away without hitting that subscribe button. Tell me in the comments, have you ever judged someone by what they had, instead of who they were? See you in the next story.